Well, thank you so much for joining me today, Maria. Very excited to be talking with you. A lot of different topics to cover today, and very excited to have you. And tell you what, why don't we start? Can you give a little introduction, give a little bit about your background on your side?
My name is Maria Valverde, and I am a investor primarily, residential real estate, a little bit of commercial, and a serial entrepreneur at this point.
Beautiful. So, how long have you been in real estate, Maria?
We've been in real estate for 6 years now, my husband and I.
How many properties are you guys up to on your guys' end?
So it's a little complex to say a door number because we do creative financing and wraps and owner financing, but we're around 70 assets or so between lots, flips, rentals, and wraps that we've done, owner finance deals.
And so, yeah, anytime that we talk with real estate, it's always where there's a lot of interesting things that go on, right? Just because from not only just the financial side, but just the operations of the business side, there's so much complexity that comes into play. I mean, one side you're just renting a simple property, on another side you're completely renovating a property. Can you talk a little bit about what your daily life looks like in managing a business like this? Where does your time really truly get spent when it comes to the management of the organization?
You could say that the majority of my time now is managing teams and functional groups, whether it's the admin team for closings or rental admin things with tenants or our other businesses and those functional groups within those businesses. But it's definitely a more high level day to day, although I definitely have my minor tasks that occasionally I have to do.
Tell you what, I want to get into a little bit of the finance conversation with you and kind of learn a little bit, starting with the history of what you guys have been going on. So, like I said, anytime with real estate, it always gets very interesting what the books have to look like, what bank accounts even need to look like when it comes to certain properties and what the structures need to look like. Until you started working with us, what did that operation really look like on your guys' side?
Before working with Uplinq, thankfully, we had the knowledge of having everything be digital. So we always had a bank account, we always used checks, we always used cards. However, our bookkeeping was not where it needed to be. And as you can imagine, it's very difficult to have a full picture of your business if you don't have that ongoing bookkeeping.
When you say the bookkeeping wasn't where it needed to be, was it just not cut up to current time? Was there errors and issues? Was it the frustration? What was it specifically that was causing the headache in the books themselves?
Well, I think it was a combination of things. It was, you need to do your books, but previously a lot of people they have been told that going with a tax preparer once a year is sufficient. And to really run a business and have that clarity, you need to have ongoing bookkeeping. So it was a little bit of nobody told us you need to do this, and we hadn't known that yet. And a combination of just not having the right team, not having the right people to guide us.
And so before, I mean, just as you said, a lot of people look at books as a means to do taxes, right? It's not quite clicked in for them that books can really help you operationalize the business and give you that clarity and that visibility, so you can make more intelligent decisions as you're running through the business, especially like in a real estate case. That should we be investing in new properties, or what should we be doing with this capital? Do we need to save it? Are we prepared for the loans, the financing, and the creative financing that comes along, especially in your industry, to be able to just have that stuff and those numbers right on hand at any given moment, right? And so, talking about your past, it was not quite organized, it wasn't quite in that spot. What has it been like now that you've transitioned to our side? Are you gaining that visibility? Are you seeing that knowledge transfer be able to come a lot more real time on your side?
Yes, well, Uplinq has truly been a game changer for us because we have paid several bookkeepers, CPAs, firms. It's been tens of thousands of dollars. We knew it was an investment we had to make, so we can't even say, oh, we weren't willing to pay. We were paying what you would think would get you good services, and we were not receiving them. And Uplink has been totally different. Their proactive communication, their tax department, their accounting team, I really feel the cohesiveness. I feel like they communicate. I feel the team effort. I get a quick response to my questions. It has been totally different. In the real estate space, I'm excited for how that's going to help us. It already is. And there's a saying, don't judge me by my first business, but judge me by my most recent. And We now, with our other businesses, have used Uplinq from very early on, and that has been a tremendous difference for us just in visibility and how we run our business. So I will not be starting a business without having Uplinq day one anymore.
You said that you've worked with other bookkeepers and accountants. Why are we so different from your opinion side? I mean, we talk and we cover that we are AI focused on that side, but you still kind of hit on those communication points. What does it mean when it actually works with us? Are you still talking with a human? Are you just interfacing with an AI? What does it actually mean for you when you work with us as a company?
I think that when you first look at Uplink AI, you may think, oh man, I'm not going to work with a team or who am I going to talk to? But we have had communication with your team 100% throughout the entire process, onboarding, even the introductory call, and any questions I have, I know who exactly to email, whether it's my bookkeeper or tax team. What I have loved tremendously is the proactive calls and emails about scheduling calls, quarterly calls, tax planning sessions. Often I would have to be reaching out to people. I would have to be trying to figure out who it is that I'm supposed to talk to, and I've never had a question about who it was that I could contact about anything that I had. And, maybe once we got through onboarding, someone else was assigned to our account, which is totally normal. But that was always communicated. And even when we had a complex bit of a project to take on with, having to address some things that previous bookkeepers had done, I really saw that this company was willing to help us as small business owners. They didn't just give up. They were willing to, as a team, come up with a solution. And that was heartwarming because I didn't know what to do. So I am tremendously grateful for you guys willing to help us solve this problem, because that's what shows the heart behind a business. Where things get difficult, how are we solving the solutions? And that's what makes people stand out. And yes, you're AI driven, but there's people with heart behind the business, and I love that you guys have that aspect that other companies have honestly forgotten about.
The approach that we took with it, it was that a lot of people just think, oh, the AI is going to do everything. That's not quite where it sits, right? On our side, we really approach it that the AI can do a lot of different things, a lot of the mundane, more simple processes, but they can bring to light some of the more complex natured things where we still need somebody to go in and review, but also at the end of the day, someone to communicate, right? In your side, you don't just want to be talking to a computer. You want to have that conversation with a person that's going to ask you about what does the future look like? What's happened in the past? Where are we trying to take the business to, right? And so it's a more wholesome experience when it comes to that side. And so now that you guys are in the position that you're in, especially with working with us on that side, what do the finances look like for you today? Is it a much more manageable process? Are you getting that clarity and that insight? And what decisions has that been able to lead you guys down now that you've been working with us?
Having Uplink as a resource in our business has been tremendous in having visibility into our financials. For several of our businesses, our books are already ready to go, and that's something that's totally new for us. Before, we were playing this catch up cleanup game. And with that help, it's imperative to be able to make decisions, not just now, but year end. I already knew how we were pacing for the year. And that visibility is something that for many business owners allows you to sleep well at night, and I appreciate that, and especially the tax meetings along the way have been so helpful. Our advisor, she's always proactive about conversations and has goals for us for each quarter, and it has just been such a proactive approach, and she listens to all of our concerns. So I can, as an operator, and my husband as a visionary, we both feel heard, which is so important in a business, especially a husband and wife team. So I am truly thankful for that.
There's always a lot of people that are, yeah, I mean, evaluating us, right? Because is the AI technology really worth it? Can I really trust this as a system? What would you say to those people that are evaluating us for the first time of making the decision? Do I go with an AI based bookkeeping company or do I hire a bookkeeper? What would you say to those people?
What I would say to someone who is considering Uplink is you will not regret it. Why do I say that? Because here you have a team. You don't just have one person with one set of knowledge and one set of skills. you have a team that is so robust and so complete that you will always get an answer to your questions. And it's not a matter of being right or wrong. It's finding the answer for you and your business and your needs. And it's impossible to do that if you don't have a team. I see it in my business. My team is my everything. So I see it with Uplinq and the way that they run their business. And that's why I feel completely supported and in good hands, whether it's for my bookkeeping, accounting, or my tax strategy with Uplinq.
Beautiful. Well, Maria, thank you so much for the time. I appreciate you jumping on. Happy to be able to be the business partner with you guys on your side, and wish you all the best of luck, especially coming into the new year here with some good growth going on.